right, we're back in the morning brew with friends. We got a full couch this morning already. This is great. We got our friend Greg Frost who's going to tell us a little bit about some mortgage stuff, but you got a sticker already.
I got a sticker.
The ABQID lift pitch sticker. I put mine on my coffee mug.
I'd be one of those guys taking the lift back down.
I probably would be too.
Especially
probably.
toes, right?
We'd let you.
Well, you want to come and talk about some mortgage rates. I know, what are current rates right now?
You know, interest rates right now are so low, it's unbelievable. They're between 3.5% and 4%. To put that into historical perspective, when I started in the business in 1972, interest rates were 7.5%.
Then they went up. They were like 12, 14% in the 80s,
18%, yeah. And 79, 80. And I've never seen anything other than mortgage interest rates that have actually lower today, or less than half of what they were 30 years ago.
So what does that mean for your down payment, though? Because, I mean, yes, the lower mortgage rate reduces your monthly payment.
Correct.
But what about down payments?
Well, down payments vary, and they're very low down payments. You've heard about the mortgage crisis and about low down payments, and everybody thinks and assumes that down payments are much higher now as a response to that, but actually they're not. The VA loan, and we've got so many veterans here in Albuquerque with the base, so many people relocating back to Albuquerque that have cycled through here.
Right.
Zero down.
Zero down.
It doesn't get any lower than that.
Wow. Is that for any home, or is that just for homes of a certain price range?
A certain price range, but it covers 90% of the price range in the marketplace.
Wow.
So but also for the regular consumer, first-time home buyer, New Mexico Mortgage Finance Authority, zero down.
That's amazing.
USDA, rural loans. You can spit and be outside of Albuquerque. You know, if you can throw a baseball a long ways, you can be outside of Albuquerque, and you can qualify for the USDA zero down program.
Wow.
So there's 3 zero down programs that are dynamic and affect thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And then anybody else, there's the FHA loan program with just 3.5% down. So down payment has never been easier to accomplish.
Not the challenge it used to be when you have to have 20, 30% down for your home like you did just 10 years ago, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, a little further.
A little further back than that,
yeah,
maybe.
because some of that stuff got us in trouble. You know,
Yeah.
that zero down. but no, we've come full cycle.
Very cool.
It's very dynamic right now.
You're all kind of on the front ends of access to capital for consumers. And Katie, I know you've been in the venture capital business for a long time trying to get capital for businesses. Are you seeing kind of similar things right now? Or are loans or rates, I know that doesn't necessarily impact what you guys do at Epic with venture capital, but does that make it easier for you guys to look at businesses and startups in New Mexico?
It's pretty different. I mean, you know, it's access to capital for early stage companies involves, it's a pretty different game. So we're looking for equity investments is what they're usually interested in. But I think it's good news to have the lower interest rates.
Well, with the overall
all
cost
around.
of financing going down, I should think that some of the returns that your investors are looking for would be lower proportionately with what's going on in the marketplace, which is easier on your startup.
Yeah. No, I think it's good news all across the board.
Oh, excellent. Well, for this, I mean, how do you know where all of these different programs are? I mean, you talk about the USDA programs, you talk about VA loans. I wouldn't even know where to begin to find out where all. So how do you find out where all of these things are? And
well, the best thing to do is to sit down and talk to a mortgage banker. Mortgage bankers specialize in mortgage financing. They are not involved in any other type of financial transaction, so they're very focused on it. There are lots of different loan programs to meet lots of different needs. I like to say that borrowers are like a snowflake. You know, there's
no two
are exactly alike, and they have different needs and different wants. And as a result of that, there are different loan programs. So take the time to sit down, and the key ingredient in mortgage banking is the ability to assess needs and come up with a loan program that best meets those needs. And that's what our job is all about.
Very cool. Since you are an entrepreneur, you started your place, what are some of the tips you might have for somebody like Molly who's been on the ground trying to get her startup going?
Startup in my business?
Yeah, what are some of the things, some of the lessons you learned years ago?
Research and communication. It's so important to do your research, but also to get out into groups like you're talking about in Taos and meet other people and find out, let your story be heard and find out, you just bump into people. You know, I say in the mortgage industry when I'm talking to loan originators, all you really need to do is to tell as many people every day what it is you do and what it is you need, and see if you can't find common ground. It's communicating.
I think it's a great point. I like to say innovation is an import-export game, and the more people you know who don't know one another, the more likely you are to come up with good ideas.
Right.
Because you'll borrow something from a different group to solve a problem you're facing. So.
It's all of the collisions you get at things like the ski lift pitch or wherever you may be. Awesome. We're going to be talking some more skiing here in a minute, but this is the kind of skiing I might be able to do. They're talking about adaptive skiing, and which sounds like so much fun. The guy who skis on a bicycle with skis.
That looks harder than regular skiing to me.
He says it's easier. We will find out in a minute when we come back in the Morning Brew with Friends.